Hello, everyone.
Hope you're ready for battle. You better get on the saddle. We got some demons to tackle. Yeah. We about to put on a show. These haters don't even
Top 3 favorite anime characters of all time.
The Rocket Twins from Pokemon. Yeah, you would have to use your mouth.
I don't know what's going on with Big Radiohead today. Cody asks, I watched last week's episode, but I couldn't stop focusing on that nasty red spot above Anthony's eye.
Damn.
When you come to the ring, which song do we got?
Think of a thong. Oh, of a song? A thong.
Oh my god. All right, you're not doing that to the ring. Are there any games out there that represent your life, like something you can relate to? It's the most depressing game, Elden Ring. I could probably relate. I could probably relate to Caelid. Yeah, Caelid in Elden Ring, that whole area. I relate to all of that.
Anthony has anxiety.
That whole thing is great. Thank you for that, actually. You are listening to the best junk mail and probably the only junk mail podcast in the world, but that doesn't stop it from being the best. I am Anthony Streams. I'm here with the lovely Pink Radiohead.
Hi. I'm super lovely, yes.
And we have a lot of questions to get through today, and she's wearing all black because it's gonna be your funeral. That means we're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill the episode. Yeah. So
I thought because it's October and Halloween, because literally that's why I'm wearing black. Finally, it's October. I'm back to black.
Well, that's a great reason to wear black too. But okay, in celebration of Halloween, we're also gonna kill this episode. So all black for the funeral. I should wear all black too. Okay.
Here you have orange. Halloween colors.
Yeah, it's actually and it's red, but through here it's showing up as orange, so it still works. Black and orange. We're just gonna pretend it's orange. There we go. And we got some great Halloween stuff going on. Speaking of great Halloween, we're gonna have a great Halloween episode at the end of the week. So if you have Halloween questions that you want to ask, you can put them in the Discord, you can email me, you can message me on anything. Or you can put them down in the YouTube comments. I'm going to be collecting different Halloween related questions for the last week. So that's going to be fun. You can keep it gaming if you want, or just fun Halloween questions. Whatever you do, just make sure it's Halloween themed. I won't be putting any questions in that aren't Halloween themed. So there you go. Let me pull up my questions here. While I do that, Pink, how was your weekend?
Fine. I'm just trying to think what I did. I'm like, nothing.
Kind of kicked it around the house for the most part.
As usual.
Nice.
Very boring.
I hear that. I've been trying to get out on the weekends. Like, it's been a thing of mine of like no content, no work, go out and do something. You don't have to drive anywhere far. Just get outside, breathe some air. And like, guys, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but mental health is like it's like a job. You got to really put the effort into. And I usually don't. I do whatever I got to do for a few days for it to be better. And then I just say, all right, I'm done with this and going about my day. I was like, no, you got to put the effort in. So I've been meditating, been trying to keep positive thoughts and just been keeping myself busy outside, not sitting in front of a computer every day at least. So this weekend I went to NASA. As you can tell, I got my cup and my hat. I became a space nerd over the weekend. And now I know everything there is to know about space. Cool. I'm like a walking encyclopedia for space. Just don't ask me any questions, please. But no, it was a good time though. I got to hang out with some family, and there was some really cool stuff at NASA Space Center. So if there's anybody interested in that, I'm not a big space nerd. I just thought it would be a fun thing to go do, and it was pretty cool to see all the different things that they had there. The most fun is my brother thinking like he's of the thought of we didn't really land on the moon. So I was just like, let's see if your opinion changes walking through here. Just curious. I don't ever care. Like I never, everybody can believe whatever they want to believe. It's fine. I don't care. I personally believe they landed on the moon, but I mean, everybody has their thing. After this, I kind of want to ask you.
Comments.
I want to ask you. No. I want to ask you after this story because your face, I'm just like, okay, I really want to know. I want to know what Pink thinks.
I'm just like, it's just like one of those things that I'm like, conspiracy theories are very cool, but like that one to me is kind of like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, shut up. Like, I'm sorry.
That's what, we were walking around and I'm just like, all right, so here's the rocket that they took up to the moon. Here's all the photos, and it's just like, yeah, they're still not on board, but they had a good time. They're like, this is really cool. It's like, just me personally, I don't believe that it's real, but it's cool. It's like, that's a lot of money for something that's not real. Like that, that rocket's not cheap, dog, for them to stage a moon landing. But yeah, it worked out. But okay, you're on my side with this. Your face, I was just like, I wonder which side Pink is on about the moon. Like that should have been a junk mail question now, but we got
Oh my god.
we got it. Okay,
Like,
you're with me.
yeah. Come on.
It was a lot of cool
We're
though.
in a world like where AI is taking over, and you're not gonna believe that we landed on the moon. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
maybe
yeah.
you don't think that you're capable of landing on the moon, but other people that have worked on that stuff for years
Yeah.
and years, years and years and years and years and years and years, and they keep like developing new technology, new things. Like, come on, that's an
Yeah.
insult.
That's what I was saying too. That's my thing too. Is like I was trying not to take it too deep. I didn't want to be the guy who took it too deep. But we're there. Okay, you're with me on the same thing. I'm just like, these people put in a lot of work for people to just be like, no, I don't believe that shit. This is a lot of hard work in science. Like it's a lot that goes in. It goes in like a lot of hard work that goes into that stuff. But I bought the ticket that allowed me to go see the actual rocket that went to the moon. And that was a really neat experience. I can't believe they still have it. Like they had broke up into 3 different sections and they showed how they right there. It was such a good time.
Look
though.
at you learning. Look
yeah.
at you learning.
I read nothing, by the way. I'm the type that's just asking all the questions to the people with me and not reading what's on the wall. I'm just like, man, I wonder what that is. And like there's a whole thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm not reading all that. It's fine. All right, let's get into our questions. That's how we started off junk mail was Pink, do you believe we landed on the moon? And she gave us a yes. So from there, let's jump to my brother who asked a question.
Oh.
This is a good one too. I kind of like this because I have an answer for this. This is cheat. Those who listen to the show know that I get to read these before Pink. Pink actually doesn't get these questions, so it kind of makes it more fun because she has to come up with this on the sly. But I have an answer for this one. What's a time somebody says something so stupid that you still think about it today? That's from C-Tom.
Somebody said something so stupid that you still think about it today.
Why you think about it?
Man, like, I'm very old. I've heard a lot of stupid things, you know?
He's probably like, anytime I went into Anthony's stream and tried to help him with anything he's got going on.
Let me think about it. Go ahead.
All right, so oh god, I hope she does. I don't think she listens to this show. If she does, she would kill me. We have a listener, a viewer, and she's more than a viewer. She's a good friend of the stream, my Twitch channel. She's actually helping me through Elden Ring. At this point, I might as well say the name. She's also a streamer, so I mean, anybody who hangs out in the channel knows who she is. Her name is Guna, and I know my chat is gonna go run it and show her this, and she's gonna kill me. But when I posted pictures of NASA, she said, "Oh my God, NASA's in Houston," and I was like, "Houston, we have a problem." The whole thing. It's a whole thing. She's gonna kill me for this. Guna, I love you, but that was crazy.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I have said a lot of stupid things, you know. I think we
Me
can
too.
all laugh together that we say stupid things, you know. I'm pretty sure I have said many here as well. So,
Oh,
you know,
me
it's
every day.
okay. But that's funny though, because you know that would be something that I'm gonna believe like it was a brain fart too, but you know, like she didn't remember of like the Houston, we have a problem. Also, like, you know, NASA has different places too, so you know it could be confusing.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's funny because I think a lot of the stupid things I've heard have been like geographically, but like especially being like a Hispanic person here in the US. Not so much where I live, because in Florida there's a lot of Latin Americans
Mhm.
but also in California. But anyway, it was a long time ago too. but I did an exchange program after I graduated high school, and I lived in California for about a year. So basically, what I did was like an extra year of senior year, and I knew, like, I understood English pretty well, and I could read it really well. I didn't speak it that well yet, and I was still learning a lot. And probably my accent was way heavier than it is now, but like, because it's California and everybody thinks that anybody who speaks Spanish is Mexican. And also,
Yeah.
a lot of people can be very ignorant and think that Mexicans look just one way. Like, like a brown person, and like that's the only thing that exists. Like, they think that any Spanish speaker looks like that, right? And like, and I spoke with my accent, and one person once asked me if I was Russian, and
Oh, what?
then I was like, "No, I'm Venezuelan." "Oh, and what do you speak there? Venezuelan?" I'm like, "We speak Spanish." And
All right.
and like, and that was like only one person. Then another guy once asked me like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "I'm from Venezuela." And I'm like, since I was already used to the question, I was like, "It's in South America." And I guess he didn't hear that part. And he's like, "Yeah, I know where Venezuela is. I went to Europe in the summer."
Oh my God.
And I'm like, "Bro, what?"
That's
And then this one is not stupid, it's just funny. But like, for some reason, the way I say Venezuela, like when I say it like that, when I say it like I say it in Spanish, Venezuela, without saying Venezuela, Venezuela, uh, people think I'm saying Minnesota. And I actually found a group on Facebook once of Venezuelans actually saying like, raise your hand if somebody thought you were from Minnesota. And I have no idea, but it happens. And it happens a lot. Like, "Oh, where are you from?" "Venezuela." And people are like, "Oh, Minnesota?" I'm like, "Venezuela."
how, but that's not close. I've never misheard Venezuela and
Listen,
Minnesota.
I will try to find that Facebook group. I hope it still exists. I'm going to screenshot it for you and you can put it on the screen because it's real.
That is insane. I've never look. We're like y'all know I'm in like the deep south of Texas, and still some of these is just like I've never known this to be like a thing. Like I don't know, getting Spanish and Russian confused is like I don't know. That's on my. I'm just like how did we get there? And I'm far from perfect. All right, it's not like I've never made
Listen,
mistakes.
and
But
you can Google it. You can Google it. And like, people are actually like asking on Reddit, why is Venezuela mistaking with Minnesota?
ah, that's I have no idea. That is a different level of ignorance that I've never like. I don't.
No, I don't think it's ignorance. I think they just heard the wrong thing. But
Oh.
also it might be like that's what they're hearing, Minnesota. That's what I'm
Oh, gotcha.
saying. Like,
Okay,
they're
okay,
not
yeah.
confusing Venezuela with Minnesota. They're just like, the word, it sounds
It
to
sounds the
to
same to
many
them.
people, it sounds like Minnesota. I don't know.
I still don't. I don't hear it as Minnesota, but I see. Yeah, I just still don't get.
It has happened, and it happened
Yeah,
to be more than once. And like,
yeah,
there was a Facebook group talking about it, and it was just insane to me
yeah,
that I just couldn't hear it.
yeah. No, I can see how that's. I can see how that's insane. I've literally. I don't know. I've never heard Venezuela and thought Minnesota, but then again, I guess for me, I don't. Outside of like being introduced to you, I guess I never really hear very many people talk about Venezuela. Anyways, to be fair, so people, let's not get Venezuela and Minnesota confused. They're two completely
Right.
different places. There we go. All right, we're gonna jump to Cody, who says, "What's the most random state in the United States?"
The most random state.
Yeah,
Probably one that I cannot even think the name of right now.
let me see.
Wyoming. Wyoming is a
Wyoming
state, right?
is. Oh my god, that was the Wyoming was really random, and then God, a name we should never speak on this stream. But I remember Kanye West went out there to record an album, and it became a thing in rap. Like everybody was like, "Oh my god, I gotta go to
Oh,
Wyoming," and I was just like,
oh.
"What?" But that's as far as like Wyoming, as I'm familiar with, is that becoming a little thing for a minute. This is where y'all gonna trip me up. Y'all do this on purpose to make me look dumb. Speaking of things, that first question about something so stupid, I'm gonna get some cities and states confused. Because I'm thinking in my head, there's a person that I was scrolling through TikTok one time. I don't even like watching TikTok lives, but I got hooked into watching this person. They were doing some cool stuff on there, and they were always talking about being from Rhode Island. Rhode Island? Who the fuck lives in Rhode Island? That's random as fuck. So, what's the face for? Wait, do you know people from Rhode Island? What is it? I gotta know what this face is about.
I mean, it's in an area where, yeah, people live in Rhode Island.
Yeah, no, I know people live there, but it just feels random to me. It's just like Rhode Island. Like, who goes to Rhode Island? What is it? Who's there? Like,
Isn't it close to New York?
is it? I don't know.
I might be wrong, but I think it is.
I don't know. Wait,
I can look it up.
don't.
Yeah, it is very close. Like all that area of the East Coast.
Shit.
Like I knew what Rhode Island is because even like I think it's in Miss Congeniality, somebody's from Rhode Island.
Damn it, Pink.
But yeah, I guess it's a random state, I guess.
All right. I'm just gonna change it to North Dakota.
It's a very no. Like I think I don't know anything from North Dakota, but I feel like I've seen it a lot in movies.
Really? Even in I'm gonna find a good one. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I don't have a good one either, but
What about Utah? No, that's still they got a.
everybody knows what Utah is.
And I feel like if you got a sports team, you're pretty big. Let's go. If it wasn't for Portland, I would definitely say Oregon. I feel like people can't name another city in Oregon.
Rio.
New Mexico? No?
I think it has to be more like centric for it to be a little bit more random.
Okay. Man, we are dropping the ball on this one. Thinking of middle states, and there's like Chicago.
Whichever one you're not thinking of, probably those ones.
Yep, that's those are the ones that don't come to mind. Missouri.
There you go.
Missouri. There we go. Nobody cares about Missouri. They got St. Louis. I don't really know anything about St. Louis, but it's fine. Missouri, there's our answer. Shout out to Rhode Island. I got love for y'all. No disrespect. All right. Do you have any weird video game conspiracies? Mine is that mine is that Peach fucked Luigi. I can't prove this, but something ain't right. That is from Zach.
Never thought of things like that.
Conspiracy theories in a video game. Do I have any conspiracies video game related? Damn, this one should have went through. This one we should have looked at together. I didn't think about
if I knew. Imagine if I knew. It's all on you, Anthony.
It is.
Let's see. I'm trying to think right now because I know Zelda has a lot of pretty out there theories, or just even like I would say fan fiction, to be honest. But like everybody has different theories of what it's whose Link's waifu is.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're weird. I think they make sense. Like people think that Link probably married Malon in Ocarina of Time, and then in Twilight Princess, when you start, like your reincarnation of Link is living in a ranch, and he works in a ranch. So people say like it's because he married Malon. Is it in Majora's? Yeah, no, it's in Twilight Princess. Yeah, when you start. Yeah. Is it Twilight?
Okay, nice, nice.
Yeah.
See, this came to you on the slide and you had an answer. I had time to think about this and I still don't know.
But it's not that crazy conspiracy theory. I think it makes sense a little bit. I mean, I'm all for Link and Zelda, and I know many people will get mad at me for that because they're like, "Hey, but Zelda's just a princess." But like, I like them together.
Yeah.
I always had
Yeah, for
have.
sure, for sure.
Sorry, I always have. I'm just kidding.
Um, I think I'm in agreement with you. Look at my cop out.
You're
That's
like, I have no idea. You
I'm
don't have any theories like from like Resident Evil. I remember when I used to play before when I used to have more theories when I was a child. When I was going through the game, I was like, oh, Leon likes Claire. Oh, Leon likes this person.
I
In my
actually
mind, I would make up couples and shit. Sorry, stuff.
yeah. I actually didn't get that far with Leon because I played that game like this year as an adult and I'm in love with Claire Redfield, so I tried not to like imagine her with Leon or any other conspiracies. That would be my conspiracy, is that Claire Redfield's story in Resident Evil is that she's trying to get to me. That's my conspiracy theory
Okay.
of
You
Resident
know,
Evil.
it's fine. You know, I understand because I did have like a thing for Leon, so I would actually make this stuff up and get very jealous at the characters as well. So it's like, don't talk to her.
I like that actually. That's really good. That is
Like
really
I
good.
would make up my own stories, and that's it. I'm mad. You're cheating on me.
If y'all haven't noticed by now, Pink's romance stories on this podcast are the greatest of all time.
It's not even romance anymore. Just suffering.
Oh, I can relate. All right, here we go. All right, next up, what video game protagonist do you want to be in real life?
It's hard. It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm. I liked, or have you played the Walking Dead Telltale series?
I did the first one a long time ago.
I like Lee. I think I would go with Lee, the main dude in
I
the first
don't.
one.
I don't think I would put myself in a zombie apocalypse.
But to be fair, any protagonist you pick is probably gonna be a really twisted, messed up area
Yeah,
to be
and
in.
because and you know, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I can be someone from Zelda, but then Zelda always gets fucked. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
she always gets fucked. And then I was like, maybe I can be the tree that just
the tree.
I could be the Deku tree. Like the Deku tree dies, but you know, has like a little seedling after, you know? So
That-
I also don't have issues with mortality, so I don't know why that's what I'm thinking of. Probably because the tree's just there. Like I'm a tree.
yeah, I love how this started with. I wouldn't want to put myself in a zombie apocalypse, but I'm fine with being a tree that dies and leaves a seed behind. This- All right.
No, well, okay. I would like to be someone cool that can do a lot of stuff with a lot of powers. And ooh, the girl from Medium. That would be cool to have that ability.
That would be pretty cool.
Scary but cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Very scary,
Very
actually.
scary. Yes. I was trying to think like Kirby would be kind of cool. The enemies aren't like terrifying. I could probably be Kirby.
You are eating cake whenever you want.
Yep.
You're just Kirby. Kirby's a good one, and Kirby is my man in Smash Bros. So
Mhm. There you go, Kirby. That's a good one. Almost any Nintendo game. Well, I guess not.
Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is a good one too.
That would be, you know what? Ash Ketchum was a good one. You never have to worry about he's never in danger. His life's never in danger. Ash Ketchum,
Mm.
Pokemon. Like your life is never
Mm.
really in danger if you
Is it not?
has he almost died? Ash has ran into some shit though.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they're all in danger, but it's just like such a kiddie show or game that you're like, "Ah, no, they're fine.
Yeah, Ash has
Beating
been
each other."
shocked by Pikachu a couple times too.
Yeah, well, I don't blame Pikachu, to be honest.
No, that's a fact. There you go. Do I have any other ones? I just really liked Lee. He ended up. Oh, maybe spoiler alert. Maybe not. If you haven't played The Walking Dead Telltales, go play that. It's a good game. Trying to think if there's anything I've played very recently that's like, oh my god, I would love to be. Legend of Dragoon, that's not recent, but everybody who knows me knows that's my favorite game ever. Legend of Dragoon, when they turn into dragoons and have their like dragoon powers, that's really cool. I think I would like to be Dart. He was really, really cool. We have to have Pink play that one day. You have to play Legend of Dragoon. It's the greatest thing ever, besides Elden Ring. Oh no, I don't have any more. You got any more, or are you riding with your tree?
What do you mean? I've given so many already.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's go to what state is the Caelid of the United States?
I don't know. I haven't played Elden Ring.
Caelid is. Have you seen Caelid at all?
No.
Oh, okay. Caelid is a really. All right, so the whole area is red. It's very similar to Hell.
You know what? I don't know why I knew it was red. In my mind, I was thinking red, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, they have like the birds with the giant heads and the dog heads on dinosaur-like bodies that walk around. It's very,
Looks
very.
a little bit like Hell.
Yeah, it's very fucked up. Giant skulls. It's a very fucked up place. And
Florida.
I was gonna say the more fucked up answer was, I was gonna say Florida. Florida is definitely the Caelid. It's definitely the Caelid of the United States.
100% Florida.
Yeah, okay, we're in lockstep agreement on that. It's Florida, ladies and gentlemen. It's Florida. Florida, we love you.
No, we don't.
Okay, there we go. We don't. As y'all can tell, I'm just like, Pink is my radar of all things moral. I'm just like, all right, she says no, then it's fuck y'all. All right, let's shout out to Caelid.
I have a lot of power in this moment. You know, I can start with Anthony, and then Anthony brings more to the army. And all of a sudden, I have an army of people who just do whatever I say. That's perfect to me.
Yes, as long as I'm like the knighted knight, like as long as I'm like right there, I'm just like, yeah, all right, this is kind of fire. Trey409 asks, what is the most angriest thing you've done while playing a game? Have you ever had any rage moments?
I mean, I have probably playing against my brother when we were kids. Like, I've had like really bad moments of like just like shit, and like you're cheating, and he's not cheating. He's just messing with me because it's like Mario Party or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like my brother and I were very competitive, very, very. Like I stopped being that competitive probably when I realized I wasn't that good.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
But my brother literally just like he played things just to counter me on every single game, and like he would become like very annoying because all the time where I was studying or doing other things because I was already older, he was literally just playing video games and practicing to beat me. And then learning that stuff, and like he has a capacity to focus on things when he wants to get them done, and I don't. So
Right.
like he was like, yeah, like he would like really hyper focus on getting really good in Soul Calibur. I used to be so much better than him. Like I would just sit like kind of like look at the control mapping, and I'm like, okay, I can do this, and then get the hang of it, and I would beat him. But then he took it to the other level. Like he completely learned it, mastered it, and then decided to play the characters that I hated the most, which were the slow ones, but that if they caught you, they caught you because you can't move after.
Right.
So like he would get like the buffs, everything, like huge sick free guy, and then mess me up, and I would get really angry. Like I never threw a controller or anything like that. I feel like I have seen him do that. I have seen him actually. He had a hole on his desk at some point of like him like losing and going like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut up, I'm sleeping. But playing Overwatch, I pretty much like I wouldn't say that I was angry because I raged, but I have been attacked in video games because of being a woman or
Oh, of
or
course,
because I
yeah.
didn't play well. So like I have actually at one time I did kind of like went at it with some guy. But the last couple of times I think it was kind of funny because I wasn't really being angry. It was more like shut up. And the dude is like, well, we no, shut up, silence. And like my friend just couldn't stop giggling. He was like, well, I'm just like, shut up, enough of you.
Oh my god. I like that actually. That's really good.
And he did shut up. That was
Yeah, you
great.
got to. Guys, y'all have to on these little shooter games, y'all gotta relax, y'all. It's not that deep. Y'all gotta quit being losers. It's
Like
really
because
it's
he
weird.
had already said his point. It was
Mhm.
like I was playing Diva, right? And I was waiting for the right moment because I have to watch the cooldowns, and I was looking for the right moment to dive in because it was like a map where I kind of like needed to figure it out, but like I was gonna go in, and I actually went in after. But like the thing is, like if you're gonna play Diva, you gotta go in. You can just stand there, and I wasn't just standing there. I literally was waiting for a cooldown to go down, and I would go in,
Mhm.
and then he said it, right? And then I went in and I did it or whatever. So the fight is set down. And he was like, well, see, that's what I'm saying. If you're gonna play Diva, you gotta dive, you gotta do it. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
and then he kept
god.
repeating himself. I'm like, I wasn't saying anything. And then I lost it. I was like,
As you should. Y'all dudes is weirdos. Y'all gotta get a life. It's
no,
really ridiculous.
props to him though, because he calmed down after that. I think he probably realized that he was being annoying. So yeah.
That's the good thing too, is like
Yeah.
to not have that ego. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You gotta shut the fuck
Yeah.
up. It happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the time. Sometimes you just shut the fuck up. Uh let me think. I was about to skip the question. I used to have really bad anger problems as a kid. I never did anything like put a hole in a wall or nothing crazy like that. But I did used to like get mad in NBA 2K or Madden. I would just like be on the bed and just slam the controller on the bed and just be mad because I'm losing or whatever. Um, Going into my teens, I was way past that point in my life, especially since high school I wasn't really into gaming anymore. Because I was going out trying to be cool. Like so I was like
Same.
yeah, hitting the party scene like
But
I'm too cool for
I
video
gamed that
games.
night in secret.
That's what I should have done. I wish I would have done that. I was just on my I'm too cool for video games and wrestling. So like I missed out on like a lot of wrestling and video games. And now I'm like 30. I'm just like I missed y'all. I gotta catch up.
I missed
Um
out a lot on college, I will say, but like because I
yeah,
didn't have a way to play anything, so I played The Sims a lot.
yeah,
Go
damn,
ahead.
yeah. Yep.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good. You're good. Um the most recent one I could think of, I went to my brother's house. This was shortly after high school. I didn't even own a console, but he had the PS3, and we would go to his house sometimes. And he had NBA 2K, and if y'all remember from a previous episode, me telling a story about Red and J-Dub at the church playing basketball and them being very
Oh, yeah.
competitive. They're
Mhm.
also very competitive in video games, 2K and Madden. And we were playing 2K, and I was beating him, and he just I don't know, it just a bunch of little jabs back and forth led to him going, I'm just gonna grab my game and get out of here before it gets crucial. And then from there it just really almost went crucial. And then like after he left, my little brother looked at me and was like, Doug, y'all are way too old to be acting like that about a video game. And I was just
Agree.
like, very true. Very true.
Agree.
And from that moment, yeah, I was so embarrassed just to hear that from him. From that moment, I was just like, all right, I just don't, none of it's this deep. And yeah, I don't care enough. I was never that way with like shooters or anything because I just don't care. Like I know I suck at it. So it just like if I get on Apex or something, I just turn my mic off and everybody else's so I don't have to listen to everybody tell me that I suck. And I just kind of just play and have fun. Uh but sports, I used to be so into them that I just was competitive about it. I was very, very, very competitive about the sports thing. Now I suck at them too, so all good there.
I would say like I am toxic in the sense of when I'm playing Overwatch competitive, but like I like I don't say it to the other people, right? Like
Hmm.
I do get annoyed. I'm like, oh, this talk is so bad. Oh, like I get very annoyed and frustrated. So sometimes like, but my friends do too, to be honest. Like they also like, but we say it among each other, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and only when we are provoked is when we actually say something, and still trying to keep it kind of like civic, like not too toxic. but
Yeah. I had
it's usually more like a response. Like I have a problem. Sometimes I have a problem letting go. Sometimes, very often, I have a
right.
problem letting go when people talk, but also they're not saying things that are right. And like I have a problem letting that stuff go. I'm like, you're wrong. You're wrong.
No, I will never, to this day I will never forget this. I came into Pink's channel one time and they were doing like, it was like a, I mean, you could probably explain it better than I can. It seemed like y'all were starting a team and it was like a
Oh, you were
coaching,
doing
somebody was
scrims.
coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing scrims. So that was like with that was with my last company. Like
Hmm.
they go and do tournaments. And they have Overwatch tournaments, and I was on a team, so we did have to practice because we had to play other companies, basically.
Okay, that's what was going on. And I can't lie, yo, as somebody who doesn't pay attention to that community like that with the Overwatch and the Call of Duties and all that kind of stuff, I didn't like how he was talking to Pink. I can't lie. Like, I was just like, I know I can't say anything because it sounds like a very professional thing. I had no idea what was going on, but I was like, I don't like it. It was irritating me. I was like, well, this is why I don't play. And it may not have bothered Pink at all. Like it made maybe it did, maybe it did, maybe it was something she didn't even think about because maybe
Oh
you're
wait,
used to
wait,
this.
tell me. I don't remember this. I need you to tell me what you remember.
I don't remember words or anything like that, but he was just jumping on everybody about what wasn't being done right and this and that. And it wasn't like a personal attack. Like it wasn't anything hateful. It was all about the game. I just don't like the tone, which is why I don't play those games. I don't like the tone in which people
I
speak
think I
to each
know who
other.
you're talking about though, because yeah, I'm not gonna say it
Yeah,
again, but
yeah,
I
for
know
sure, for
I
sure.
think I know who you're talking about for
Yeah,
sure.
I didn't like it. I was just like,
Because there are other people that were able to do it without that tone, for sure, for sure. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
I was
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
like, all right. So
It didn't annoy me because I'm very patient when I
Mhm.
decide to give people patience. But when I don't want to give people patience, you will see it in my face. It's not hidden, it's there.
and I'll do this thing, and I'll do this thing where I feel like if somebody is like, and like I said, I don't talk to people about these things because I stay in my place as a viewer, period. I stay in my place. But if I feel like somebody is being like what she was going through in my mind, it was like he's stressing her out. So I'll do things like here's some biddies or I'll tip $5, just something to keep like I feel bad. Like I'll do stuff like that. Like, oh, here's a $10 tip. You know what I'm saying? Just something to keep like because I'm just like I don't like this shit, but I can't say anything. It's so fucking weird. I don't it was I
I
don't
know.
know.
And I know exactly who you're talking about too.
Yeah, those communities are very hard for me to like get used to. That's how people just talk to each other because I don't like to be talked to that way at all. So a lot of
I think
times,
some people need to learn how to speak to
mhm.
different people because some people assume that they can speak the same way to everybody. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No, go
off,
ahead, go
but
ahead.
um, like I've had that problem, right? Because I was spoken to in a certain way my entire life, and kind of like I learned to speak to people that way. And because I have been a manager, I have like, worked with teams, I have learned from them to kind of like change the way I speak to each person, like each person is different. And I think the mistake that that person tends to make is that they assume everybody is the same. So, like, they might have been fine talking to me that way because I was already used to it and I kind of knew them, but it wasn't fine for the other people that they didn't even know.
Right, right.
And I think that's something that certain people don't understand. It's like, and even then, I wouldn't say that it's completely okay the way that he said things to me, but um, I let it go because I didn't think it came from a bad place. It came
Right.
more from like I'm frustrated and trying to explain, but like frustration is coming through. And I understand that because I have the same issue because I get frustrated because I don't know how to better explain it. But it's not frustration towards you, it's frustration towards me. But I feel like, I don't know. That's why I try to shut up and not try to coach anybody else because I know it's not going to come off correctly, if you
Mhm.
know what I mean.
No, I get it. And I do just want to make clear for anybody who are into these games, because y'all know way more about the community than me. As somebody who's just on the outside looking in, I'm just like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't have somebody speaking to me that way. But it's like you said, I'm sure, deal with a lot of people like that playing Overwatch or anybody else playing other type of games like Apex and stuff. It's probably a very, it's just the lingo in a way, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a lingo. I think it's certain people only, to be honest. Some people are able to say things in a better way. Like
Mhm.
I think it's just certain people don't know how to speak and that's fine. I don't know how to speak sometimes. When
Right.
I am kind of like annoyed, frustrated, it's very hard for me to come through in a very level-headed way. So I try not to say something and sometimes I do say things because I am impulsive and then I feel horrible about it after.
Right. No, I get that. And like I said earlier about dealing with like anger, like my entire life was just like, I'm not gonna be an angry person.
Yeah.
So I just like, it's like other people's feelings always come first to me, and I don't think that that's right or wrong
Mm,
or anything like that. But I'm very, 'cause I understand that's not the way you should be, but it's just
I think
like,
there needs to be a balance for sure.
yeah, and I've never found the balance. I think really hard before I speak to people, because every little thing is, let me make sure I don't say anything that can be hurtful or hurt this person's feelings, or this is so like my conversations are even weird because I have to stop and think for a second to just, okay, this isn't gonna say come off a way. I'm really bad about that because I'm also really bad about saying things and them coming out a way I didn't mean for it to come out. And I'm just like, oh,
Mhm.
that didn't land the way
No,
it did in
I'm
my
the same.
head. Yeah.
I'm the same with that. And like the thing is like I might say things, but then I realize that it probably came off the wrong way and then I feel horrible about
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
and those are the things that keep me up at night and kid you not, recently messaged my best friend and it wasn't something I said, it was something I did. It was like the stupidest thing. But literally I'm like in bed trying to fall asleep and I thought of that instance and like she was eating something and I stole the last piece of it, basically. That was it. And I thought of it and I was like, that was such a horrible thing for me to do. How dare I steal her last piece of that she was eating? And I messaged her. I'm like, I was thinking of that time when you were eating at lunch and then I took the last piece of your tequeño. It was a tequeño, and I feel very bad about that because like you were actually mad about it, and it's not only because she was mad. It wasn't okay. Like
Yeah.
I would have gotten mad. My dad does that to me. He takes
Yeah.
the last piece sometimes. I'm like, oh. So I was just like, damn. I feel like, and I thought of it, and I apologize. It's just like I'm sure I'm sure, and I forgive you. Like I'm sure you are sorry about it, Lilia, and I forgive you. It's been like 25 years or something. I don't know
I
how
was
long
just
it's
gonna
been.
ask, like, can you say
It's,
how long ago that was? Like, was it?
we were in high school,
Oh, okay.
so
So it was okay.
it was a long time ago.
But it's only funny because I can relate to this. Like, I really, that happens to me too, where I'm just like, I'll stress. I'm like, man, I really hope that didn't land wrong. Like, I really hope, especially if they didn't say anything about it. I'm just like, God, I don't know if they caught it and they're just not saying anything.
Yeah. Like let's
It's
say 15
yeah.
years, 17 years. I don't know. It's a long time. Oh my god, I'm so fucking old.
Oh my God, no, you're not. We are in the prime of our lives right now.
Speak
Uh,
for yourself.
okay, thank you, Trey 409 for that question.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Hey,
for the segue too.
nope, it's all good. We only have two questions left, anyways. Haley's a new emailer, so shout out to Haley. Um,
Woo. Like the comet. You probably learned that too, right? About Haley the comet?
uh,
No?
Haley
Yes?
kind of no.
Okay, sorry I brought it up.
Haley has Haley has a generic question here. In a good way, not in a
Okay.
bad, not in a bad. I'm sorry, Haley. I didn't mean it
Damn,
like.
Haley.
No, that's not what I meant. She's
I
never
wouldn't
gonna
take
write us
that.
again. She's never gonna write us again. Pink really wouldn't. I'm not, yo. I'm not lying to y'all. Sometimes Pink really does scare me. Haley asks, "What's your favorite movie of all time?"
Oof, hard one because it's very hard for me to pick favorites, but I do like the extended edition of the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, you are a big Lord of the Rings fan. I forgot about that.
I wouldn't say it's like my most favorite. Like I said, I don't have I don't choose many favorites, but I do have some rewatchables and that I very much love, and that would be one of them.
It's kind of hard to pick for something like that because it's just like
It is hard.
you have a really good horror movie you may love or a comedy. There's just so many genres and so many hard ways to compare and pick. I mean, I don't do horror at all, so that's easy for me. I'm gonna give you the generic guy answer. It might be Scarface.
Well, I mean, I think it's fair because that's one of the ones that you've rewatched a lot,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
I think it's fair. Like I would say, like if it was about movies that I've rewatched a lot, it would be The Lord of the Rings because I try to rewatch it every single year. And then I used to watch and rewatch Amelie so much. I love that movie so much. I watched and
hmm
rewatched it and rewatched and rewatched it. So, you know, it's hard, but in any Disney movie when I was a kid, probably.
Yeah. I probably haven't seen any movies more than I've seen Scarface or the first Suicide Squad. So
Okay.
they would probably be on the top of my list. He
Okay.
wants to say something so bad. Look.
No, I don't. I don't. I do not want to say anything. I am very bad at keeping up with a lot of the new movies and all that stuff. So I'm just like, okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you was about to go in on like Suicide Squad. People just shit on that entire movie. Like it did
And I
terrible.
get it, but you didn't say Transformers and you didn't say Fast and Furious, so you're safe.
Oh yeah, I hate both of those with a passion.
Yeah.
I hate them.
Cool.
The first Fast and the Furious, I was cool with when it first came out. I liked it. I don't remember the second or third or whatever. Like I remember the first one. I thought it was pretty cool, and then it just got ridiculous. I was cool on it after that. And I don't really like the first one enough to go back to it. But I remember just being a kid. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Now it got kind of over it. Uh, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any more. We've talked about Scarface and Suicide Squad. I was trying to think if there's one that I really loved. That would be like something I haven't given y'all. I'm not a movie watcher though. I'm just not big into movies or television like that. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I really loved Friday. I was really into Friday as a kid.
I haven't seen Friday.
Friday was really funny. Um, well, I'll throw that one in. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not a movie watcher. I don't have like. I know y'all would
That's
probably say
I
like,
think it's fine. You said one
yeah,
already. You don't have
yeah,
to
yeah.
give that
There we
many.
go. Oh, I would like to give y'all something y'all haven't already heard on other questions, but I just Scarface is always my go-to because it's like the only thing I was like super into as a kid. Um. All right, last one here is from Ryan, who says, "My nephew is starting to take an interest in games after visiting." Oh, hold on. This is not a. All right, hold on. My nephew is starting to take an interest in games after visiting me and watching me finish Dead Cells. I never played a Dead Cells game or seen it. Like I've heard about it, but I've never like seen it played. The only problem is that his parents aren't gamers at all. So it'd be my responsibility to be his gaming Yoda. I don't, as somebody who doesn't watch Star Wars, I have no idea what that means. But shout out to Yoda.
I mean, but you know who Yoda is.
I know what he looks like.
I
How does
mean, you
that?
can tell he's a very master Zen guide.
Oh, so it's like somebody who. Okay, so Yoda. Okay, so your gaming Yoda would be like you teaching him how to play games.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
He shows Luke and everybody how to use the Force and
Oh.
all that stuff.
I see what you did. That was a good joke. That was a good joke. I had no idea what Yoda did. I just know he's a green guy with pointy ears. So I'm headed to Walmart to buy him a Switch so that he can start with some 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 light fun games. Uh you gotta stop. You're making me laugh. Hold on, Ryan. I promise I'm gonna get through your question here. Pink is starting trouble. I also want to play games with. Oh wait. We were she threw me off completely. So I'm headed to Walmart to buy him a Switch so that he can start with some light, fun games. I also want to play games with them, but today it feels like there are not. There are by couch multiple. There are not many couch multiple player games, I guess is what you're trying to say there. I also want to play games with him, but today it feels like there aren't much couch multiplayer games. Are there any good games you can think of that we can play together on 2 controllers? For any context, he's 10 years old, and I have a Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series X. Right.
Yeah. Overcooked 2.
Oh,
that would
that's a
be
good
really
one.
fun to do with your nephew. Let's see, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is always good.
Smash Bros.
So say Switch
Uh,
probably has most of the couch multiplayer
I mean,
games.
Xbox does too, because in Xbox you actually have like the older games, so you can actually sit on the couch. Like you can even play
Oh,
GoldenEye. You can play GoldenEye and teach him like some of the classics on Xbox right now with Game Pass. You can sit
mm.
on the couch with that, and probably on the Switch too. I'm not sure if it's available on the Switch. I'm unsure. Um, but yeah, like Fall Guys as well.
Oh, guys, yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm trying to think what else has local play.
I know. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you have Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, I know like PlayStation Plus has some of the old ones like Twisted Metal. So you like that's a fun one. I love that at 10. I mean, me at 10 and your nephew at 10 are 2 different eras of life, but that Twisted Metal was fun.
Just
Uh,
Dance, Perfect Gamer.
Just Dance. I feel like Nintendo probably has a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, Wii
Yeah.
Sports as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like I know that's a little bit more like of activity and stuff like that, but like you can teach him that you can do both. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like you can do like the more active ones and also the more like sitting down.
Yeah.
There's some that you can play. Forgot the name of it, but my brother used to like to play that.
It
Uh,
Takes Two is it was pretty current too. One game of the year a few years ago.
yeah, yeah, it takes 2 as well. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure if like a 10 is for a 10-year-old, but probably I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Um,
either.
Among Us. Can it be
Among
local
Us.
play in Among Us? Oh no, that's not local play.
I
No,
guess it's just multiplayer online, I'm assuming.
yeah.
Um, Fuck all that. You know what I say? I say it's time for your nephew to grow up. Turn Elden Ring on. Turn it on.
No, it's
Put it
not.
on.
No. Do Zelda first. And definitely show him Zelda, please.
give him Elden Ring and give him a cup of coffee and tell him to grow up a little bit.
Yeah,
That's my
and then he just gave
recommendation.
up. He just gave up.
Yeah, what do you want to do these multiplayer games? Would you want to hold his hand? You want to baby him through video games? Turn Elden Ring on and tell him good luck. That's what they
It's
did to
fun
me.
to play with friends.
I
It's
don't
fun.
have
I
friends.
miss it. I miss it. I miss being able to play with my well, I didn't have friends either. It was my siblings and my cousins. But like we
Yeah.
used to play all together and those were the best times. You
Yeah.
know, playing Mario Party, destroying the palm of our hands with a joystick. That was the best.
On the 64
Like,
controller, yeah.
on the 64 controller,
Yeah.
yeah. Like in Paddle Battle.
Yeah, that's exactly. I look like that right now when I get on my 64. Look, let me tell you something. I used to play with my brother and siblings too. They all grew up. They don't want to play games anymore. They don't want to play games with me. If I can't play them, neither can your 10-year-old nephew. Okay, he's got to grow up with the rest of us. So that's my advice for your 10-year-old nephew.
Obviously, you're gonna ignore his advice because
Don't ignore that. You're gonna thank me
then
later.
what happens? Then the toxic people on the interwebs, on the gaming platforms, get to your nephew, and then your nephew's the next one to say, like, go back to the kitchen when they hear a woman because they learned it from other people. Like, I have had little kids do that to me on Call of Duty. Like, go back to the kitchen. I'm like, bro.
How do you even respond to something like that with it being a kid?
Do you even wear boxers yet? Are you out of your diapers yet? Shut up! Your balls haven't dropped. What
That's,
the heck?
there you go.
And I don't care if the kid comes for me. I come back.
No, I agree. That's why, hey, fuck them kids. That's why I'm with you. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. Get your nephew out
Like,
in the
I
ring
treat
and,
them like as adults. If you're gonna
yes.
say adult shit that is not even supposed, that not even adults are supposed to say, then I'm gonna say it back to you.
I'm 100% in agreement with this. You know what's funny is I have like this real soft spot for kids though, of like I don't like when they're killed in scary movies. Like anybody who knows me knows I don't play about like kid deaths in scary movies. I don't do it. Like I'm just like, dog, we could do all this and just leave children out of this. I'm not into any of that. But I'm with you. If you come to me as a kid and talking to me crazy, I'm about to talk to you crazy. All right,
You're like, no.
one story. This is not good. Okay, let me phrase this by saying this is not how you should handle this. And I did this
Uh-oh.
back when I was in high school. All right, I was a teenager. It's not the best way to handle this. It's crazy to think. I don't want to tell the story. Sometimes I look at Pink's face. I'm just like, I'm getting that. Don't tell the story, and I'm just like, okay, maybe I shouldn't tell it.
What do you mean? I'm not even thinking of anything. I'm just waiting for you to talk.
I'm
I
nervous.
literally just have my neutral face.
I feel like you just don't do it. No, okay, it ain't that crazy. All right, when I was in high school, I was probably freshman in high school. I remember my brother is 4 years younger than me. So, I mean, do the math. So, kids his age, I remember him coming up to me and telling me like, man, they keep talking about me, this, and that. Like he was real mad about it. And I was just like, all right, I'm about to go check him. We lived in the same apartments. So one day I got him from the bus stop and they didn't go to school, but they were in the park in the apartments. I said, and he knew, I could tell by the face, he was like, I shouldn't have said nothing. Cause I said, that's them right there. And he just kind of had like this look of like, I shouldn't have said shit. And he was like, yeah. So I walked over there. I got to cussing them out and everything, just like smooth. It was crazy. Cussed them out like crazy. So they
But wait,
went.
I missed something. What happened with the kids?
They said something to my brother. I don't know. It was something stupid that I shouldn't even have gotten to this level about. You know, kids being kids, picking and
Yeah.
being stupid. So they went and got their mom and dad. And I remember thinking like, all right, I had we were about to leave. This was so random. They pulled the same move on me that I pulled on them. We were about to leave, and to get to the car, you got to walk by the pool. And their parents were at the pool with them. So I guess they pulled that's the kid that cussed us out. So me and my brother were walking, and my mom was still in the apartment getting her stuff ready to leave. So they said, you talk to my kids like that? And so then I remember like, all right, you cannot punk out here in front of your brother. You gotta talk to the mom and dad the same way. So I just went off on them too, thinking this is gonna end bad for me because the dad is like a big dude. I'm like, this is gonna go bad. So now I'm
I
sitting
mean,
there.
but they started it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, their punk ass kids started the whole thing. So they're at the gate talking to me crazy. I'm screaming and cussing back, and I'm walking up to the gate. Now we're like face to face by the gate, going insane. Me and the dad just cussing each other smooth out. And my mom finally comes out there and was like, what is happening and all that? And like, they got into it. My mom was like, he's in high school. You don't talk to my kid that way. And they were talking about how I was talking to them and all that. And now I'm just like, I'm hyped up. We get in the car and now I'm thinking, I'm about to get my ass tore up. Like my mom was about to tear me up. But I'll never forget. She looked at me and was like, it was cool that you protected your brother, but don't be talking to people's kids like that. I was like, all right. All right.
No, but it like I mean I get you though. Like I don't start fights. I'm not the one starting the fights most of the time, but I will be provoked.
Mhm.
And when my brother when we were in school, my brother's 4 years younger than me. And there was a kid that was a bully. And one day I'm waiting, like it's already like school is over. We're just waiting for our parents to pick us up, and then somebody comes get me. Like I'm like 12 years old, and then and they're like, "Hey, Lilia." I don't know why I'm unable to speak right now for a second. Like everything went. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this kid's come get me. I'm like, Lilia, like there's this little kid beating up your bro. And then I go there and I find like they're like and this kid is sitting on my brother. My brother's like on the floor looking down like this. This
Oh
kid is sitting
yeah.
on my brother, pulling his hair while sitting on top of him and biting his head. The anger
Oh,
that
I
I
can imagine.
felt.
Yeah.
And like this kid, I will tell you, like, I don't know, I was probably this height or probably a little shorter. I'm not a tall person. The kid was already like up to here, right? Like he was a heavy kid too. But I was so pissed off. I just go and I grab him by the shirt and I lift and I pull him out and I'm like, excuse me. And then I grab him and I'm like, oh my God, I was holding myself so hard to not beat this kid up because I literally wanted to punch him, but like I grabbed him by the arms like this, and I'm like start shaking him, like, how dare you! Don't ever touch my brother again! Like a fucking crazy person. Like literally, like I'm just like, "Ah!" And this is the Lilia that people actually fear because when I get angry, I actually like I'm like, I won't hurt you, but my words probably will.
Yeah.
And
Sorry.
like when I'm actually really angry and you did something wrong, I will come for you. Do not touch my brother, little kid. I was
Mhm.
so pissed off and he was really scared. I would be scared too. And other people were like, and
That's
then,
me. That's me.
well,
That's me watching from away.
like finally, like, he stopped, but then I was like, I'm watching you. I'm going to talk to your mother because I knew his mom too.
Mhm.
And when they came to pick him up, I talked to his mom and I told her like next time I beat him up.
Next time I'm whooping your
Um,
son's ass.
yeah. And hopefully he's fine. He did have a very rough upbringing, which is the reason why he was like that. But
Yeah.
not don't take it out on my brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hopefully he's dealing with that. I can say like I've never, first of all, I make the joke of being scared of Pink, not because she's ever been violent or rude or disrespectful to anybody in any kind of way. But Pink is very no nonsense. So like, which is good. That's a good thing. Like she's very, very no nonsense. So I just stay on the good side and don't come to her with no nonsense.
Which is crazy because other people would say that I'm the one who comes with the nonsense, so okay.
I would say that I've never witnessed you just go off on anybody or like bring nonsense to anybody though. Like just snap on somebody for no reason. I haven't. I don't
Yeah,
know you as well
if
as like other people.
I never do it for no
Yeah.
reason. Trust me,
Yeah.
like normally if I do, there's a reason.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. All right. Well, we have successfully made it through another Junk Mail Tuesday. Let me make sure I didn't leave any of y'all behind. I don't want y'all crying in my inboxes later. Look at how we talk to our people. Is that Cody? Yeah. There we go. We have finished our mission. Questions are completed. I think we had a pretty good episode today. We learned a lot.
Yeah, we added a lot of DLCs.
Yes. Yep. And I'm glad we both have worked through our anger issues when we were younger. We are not them people today, people. Nice. And also, one more time, I want to give a shout out to Rhode Island. I don't want y'all coming for me. I got a lot of love and respect for Rhode Island. Shout out to y'all.
Forgot about it.
Yes, Florida, get your shit together. Y'all don't have to be
For
Caelid.
real.
You can fix it. You don't have to be Caelid. You can fix
For
it.
real.
Though
But I
Texas,
doubt it. It is Florida.
Texas is like
Texas is pretty close, to be honest.
I was gonna say
I wouldn't-
Texas is the area under Caelid, which is like probably worse. It's like they just have people hanging on fucking crucifixes and shit, and like
Oh
shoot.
shoot!
There's just all right. So that mask behind me, the Albinoric mask, those
Mhm.
things are just like headless and body parts just laying in like
Oh,
pools of
beautiful.
blood. Yeah, that's how the area under Caelid is. So like Florida and Texas, that's them. Them two are just like right there. So.
I don't see anything wrong here. I think that's pretty accurate with reality.
Yes. So if you ever want to go to Florida without actually going, just pop in Elden Ring and go to Caelid, and you got your nice Florida vacation. All right, I am Anthony Streams on Twitch. That's with two Z's, and you can find Twitch on, or you can find Pink on Twitch. You will not find Twitch on Pink. I promise. She's never gonna have that tattooed on her. You can find Pink on Twitch, at Pink Radiohead, all one word.
Reminder for yourself.
That is, so the inside joke on that is that I used to space out because I overthink everything. I was like, she spells it Pink Radiohead separate, right? And then she corrected me, and I still just started like, oh shit, is it one word or two? I think she told me not to put it as one word, that it was three, and I just, but I finally got it down. It's one word, guys. Pink Radiohead is one word. And with that, Pink, do you want to say goodbye to the people? Get us out of here. You're gonna end it. There. All right, one more time. You're gonna end it. just tell the people bye again. We'll bounce.
Goodbye.
That whole thing is great. Thank you for that.